friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me because today we are trying to make moves. Let's talk about it. So, fall is quickly approaching, like with a quickness, and I have not gotten through my summer TBR. Who's surprised? I'm not. So, I want to spend this time trying to get through as many other books that are still left on my summer TBR as I can. Will I finish them? Probably not. Probably not. But I want this number to look better than what it is because it's just not looking good. So just sit back, relax, and watch me try to read these books. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just picking up what I think I'm in the mood for and just seeing what happens and trying to get through as many of these as I can before we step into September. Because when September first hits, it is fall. I know that is not technically true, but it's true in my brain. And I am ready to run into the fall reads. It's my favorite season, it's my favorite time of year and that's what I want. So I want to be able to get these off my brain before that time hits and be able to just jump all the way into fall on the 1st of September. So let's get to these books.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am coming back with not so great news. So I think I'm going to have to soft DNF Georgie all along. It's not that I don't like this book. I do actually think that I would enjoy it and I can get something from it and I would have a good time with it, but the timing is not right. The timing isn't right for me. I am in a mood where I need fun, light things. And this isn't like heavy per se, but just the subject matter, it's just hitting a little too close to home for me. So I'm going to take a break from this one. I did end up getting about 86 pages in, but it was just hard for me to read. I would read a chapter, set it down, read a chapter, set it down, and yeah, it was just a little harder for me to get through. So, to give this book a fair chance, because I do think that I could really like it, I'm gonna set it down for now and I'll pick it up again eventually. Not saying it's going to be this week, not saying it's going to be this month, but I will keep it on my shelves for when I feel like I'm in the right headspace and I'm able to, you know, finish it. So. Hey, so I didn't update you on this because I finished it in one sitting in like a couple hours at most, maybe like two. But it's okay because I'm here to talk about it now. And that is Runaway Romance by Simone J. Maxwell. And this was cute. This was a little novella. And it was about this actress who, funnily enough, has a role with her boyfriend. Well, with her fiance, and she's playing a runaway bride. And in real life, they go to get married. And what she do? Run away. And so she just is distraught and she feels like she's been going along with this relationship, even though she knows it's not for her, but it's what her team and her managers and everybody is telling her that she should do. It's good for her because he's like this beloved actor. His nickname is America's Boyfriend. Ew, but whatever. So she runs away to this place called the Hideaway, and it's like this private resort for celebrities or famous people, and it's away from paparazzi, and they make sign NDAs, all that is really exclusive. And she gets there, and her best friend, who was her maid of honor, who also helped her escape, her brother is also vacationing at this resort. And they kind of grew up together, but they hadn't seen each other in a long time. So they just reconnect and everything goes from there. It was cute. I feel like the spice went from 0 to like 75, not quite 100, but it skipped a few levels for me. Like, it was so random. Like, I want to describe to you after, but it's fully clearly spoiler. But I was like, wait, I was going back on my Kindle, like, did I skip something? Like, did I miss something? Because even though this is a novella and these people already had like a previous relationship, not even like relationship romantically, but they just, like I said, they grew up together. So they like really knew each other, but they didn't know each other in that way. So to go from like just running into each other after 6 years to like bam, spicy scene, I was like, whoa, you're taking me too fast. Hold up, rewind. We need to add a little more in there. And yeah, I think that throughout the book, that's the problem that, well, throughout the story, that's the problem that I had, because I just feel like they amped up this previous getting to know each other, previous relationship, but we didn't really get to see any of that. And so it just felt very much like it wasn't given enough for them to be doing what they were doing and feeling how they were feeling, in my opinion. So yeah, because of that, this is like a 3.5, and that's not a bad rating. Like I said, I still had a lot of fun with it. I still thought, you know, the spice was spicing, the chemistry was doing its thing. Yeah, it was fine, but nothing that I will like write home about or anything like that. And I know some people have issues rating novellas. I don't. I have some 5-star novellas that I would be happy to talk to you about, and kind of make a video talking about what I liked about them, which ones I think you should start with, who I think are good novella writers. So if you want to see that, let me know down in the comments below, and I will hook that up for you. But yeah, this just felt like it was lacking a lot in the backstory. And if they hadn't given us that backstory, it might have actually been easier to believe. But because it was written in, I kind of needed that background to actually believe that this was what it was. So, with all that being said, fun time, 3.5 stars. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. So, I picked up this book and I read roughly 80 pages last night, and I made myself put it down so I can try to go to sleep. Picked it up this morning and finished it. So that is Lease on Love. And yeah, I was not expecting to fly through this as quick as I did, but I guess I just been reading. Like, I just been reading. And when I'm in a reading mood, I'm just going to read, and I'm not even going to try to question it. I'm just going to let it happen. So this was finished in less than 24 hours. And I thought that this was pretty good. It wasn't anything that like really stood out to me, or one that I'm gonna remember years later, or even go down as one of my favorites. And I think my main problem with this was that I do not feel that our couple knew each other well enough to have these big feelings that they were having. And I get it, people fall in love at different rates and things do happen fast for some people, but I don't even really feel like they knew enough about each other to claim that they're in love with each other, because like, y'all in love and y'all know his middle name. Like, that's one of the first questions that should be coming out in the getting to know each other stage. Like, y'all have been living together and you know next to nothing about him, but you're in love with him. And this is also vice versa because they both liked each other. So I'm not just saying like she fell for him, like they fell for each other. But it was still weird to me, and it made it hard to believe. And then we have our third act conflict. Because I felt like they didn't really know each other, the third act conflict was like, yeah, it was like very obvious because y'all don't know each other. So, I mean, what are you mad about? And y'all consistently talked about how you didn't really know much about the other person, but you were willing to actually start a relationship with them and with titles and stuff, but you were okay with not knowing about the person. And then when something comes out that you didn't know, you get mad. It wasn't making sense for me. It wasn't. And I felt that our main character was she was kind of annoying. And I know that she had some things happen to her and she has some trauma in her life, and I'm trying to give her grace for that, but she was very annoying. And I felt like kind of even her friends felt annoying to an extent too. I don't know. There was a disconnect for me as far as trying to like the characters and also trying to get on board with this relationship where I felt like they didn't know each other enough to build a relationship. So, yeah, with all that being said, I do enjoy Falon Ballard's writing. I read Just My Type last year, or was it 2022? Either way, I read Just My Type and I ended up really enjoying that. So her writing is something that I do enjoy and I probably will continue to pick up. She's just, not going on the favorites list. And with all that being said, I ended up rating this book a 3.5 stars. Like I said, I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the banter. And it was just like some really good life quotes and situations in here that I liked, but it was really the romance that did not do it for me. And it's hard to give a romance a 5 star when you don't like the relationship because that's the whole point. But anyway, still a pretty good time was had. Like I said, I flew through this in 24 hours, and that would not have been possible if I wasn't enjoying myself to some extent, right? So, yeah, 3.5 stars. Still would recommend, just not my personal favorite. Something very exciting has showed up on my doorstep, and I love this time every single month. And I just wanted to unbox something with you, and that is my Aardvark Book Club monthly box. Yes, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see. And if you can see, the book that I chose for the month of August is Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright. I think that's how you say it. And I'm really excited about this one. It sounds like something very different than what I have read before. So I'm really interested to get into this. This is a fantasy romance, the first book in the Age of Blood series. And let's just read the synopsis together because I don't want to mess it up. The tagline says, a villainous heroine finds herself plunged into a seductive world of power, politics, and murder in the court of the Vampire King in this bloodthirsty debut from an unmissable new voice in fantasy romance. The synopsis says, the daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker, Shan LeClaire, has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic. Now she takes her place at the head of the family. Her revenge will soon follow. Samuel Hutchinson is a bastard with a terrible gift. drawn into the world of dark magic, and pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty court of the Vampire King. Tasked by the Eternal King to discover the identity of a killer cutting a bloody swath through the city, Samuel Shan and a mysterious royal bloodworker named Isaac find themselves caught in a complicated web of desire, treason, and vengeance as they must decide if the good of their nation is worth the price of their souls. Yes, 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 yes. And this book also has some trans representation in it, and I just thought that it was mainly one of the reasons why I picked it up, because I have not read a fantasy romance with trans character in it. So I wanted to diversify my reading, and this also just sounds really good even without that. So really excited to pick this up, and I am so happy that yeah, I had this. I have said multiple times that I am a paperback girly, and I am through and through. I love me a good floppy paperback. But these aardvark books, the cover, the actual hardback cover is so buttery and smooth and like soft. If you have texture issues, you will love this. It feels so good. And I will pick a hardcover edition of an aardvark book before I pick a hardcover in the store just for this cover. Like, y'all, okay, I'm not gonna be gross. I'm like just rub all on the book, but I could. It feels that good. So you should definitely try them out if you haven't. And this is not sponsored, by the way, but Aardvark, if you see this, hit me up. Hit me up. I love y'all anyway. So, you know. Anyway, yeah.